Roger, go for deploy.
Hey there, listeners. Welcome back to Adventure Fit Radio. So, the show we have for you guys today is with Christmas Abbott. Christmas is probably the biggest guest we've had on the show so far. She is a CrossFit affiliate owner. She is an author. She runs seminars all over the world. And she's also a columnist for the New York Times, I believe. So this is a great interview with Christmas. We talked about everything from her upbringing onto her diet and her training protocols. We also talk about the bigger picture with her following that she's got and what she's trying to achieve with it, and her thoughts on the whole Insta-famous thing, which I have a big problem with, but I think she's one of the ones that does it the right way. Obviously, she uses it for good rather than evil. It was a really good show. So, a funny thing happened while we went up to Sydney to interview Christmas and a few other people. We went out with Christmas and her gang on the Friday night. We went out for dinner and drinks, and the drinks kicked off a little bit more than what we originally had planned, and it ended up we ended up at a restaurant playing. I wouldn't call them drinking games, more so just games, and kind of truth or dare kind of games. Anyway, Tommy got himself into a situation against Christmas that he had to, it was a challenge where he had to, the game's too hard to explain, but basically Christmas, from what I saw, cheated him out of it, and Tommy agreed to getting Christmas Abbott's Christmas Abbott's signature tattooed on his foot. Tommy wasn't able to do that up there, but 100% he shook on it, even though she cheated him, and Mac had a part to play in it too. Pretty much Mac and Christmas. I was just an innocent bystander with Jen and Paul, the Christmas gang. But 100% Tommy was cheated, and Mac was all up and about it, trying to impress Christmas, jumping on the bandwagon with her. Christmas will not let him live this down, so stay tuned. I think it's going to go down when we go to the US in July, hopefully. But stay tuned for Tommy and his Christmas Abbott signature tattoo on his foot. Alrighty, so basically though, we want to thank our sponsors. We've finished our run with the sponsors that we have here, guys. So we are looking for new sponsors. Audible, sorry, we aren't, but Loxam and NDO are finished. They have finished their run with us, but since they jumped on board, and since we haven't started negotiations with other sponsors yet, we're just gonna let those guys get some free run because they helped us out. So our sponsors are Loxam Solutions. Loxam Solutions is a boutique consulting and business support company focused on business consulting and commercial services. Loxam. The key to their success has been through the application of a pragmatic approach combined with entrepreneurial spirit to achieve their clients' outcomes. Their philosophy is simple: deliver well-defined, measurable business outcomes to their clients through the engagement of subject matter experts with real-world experience. Services include, too many services to mention. They can be found at www.loxamsolutions.com.au. Our next sponsor is NDO Sups. NDO Sups, like I always say, didn't really give us enough good copy to read, so I'm just going to talk about the fact that they are great. Max swears by them. It's a recovery tool with their recovery B peptides that will help you aid your recovery and your training. So if you want to check out NDO Sups, check out www.ndosups.com and use ADVF Radio for 10% off at checkout. Also, we are sponsored by Audible. Audible is, I can't find the copy for Audible. Audible is an audiobook warehouse, basically, online warehouse, and they are offering a free 1-month membership to any Adventure Fit Radio listeners. So, and a free audiobook to boot, sorry. So, what you'll need to do, guys, is head to www.audibletrial.com/ADVF radio and check out their offer, sign yourself up, and get your free audiobook. I recommend, I'm not going to recommend a book today. Tommy recommended A Brief History of Time by Stephen Hawking, which we'll keep plugging because that's a good one. I've got it in my in my bookshelf. I just haven't read it yet. I'm reading The Wizard of the Upper Amazon at the moment, which is a great book. Not sure it's on Audible. Anyway, it's www.audibletrial.com/ADVF radio. We are also sponsored by Adventure Fit Travel. Adventure Fit Travel is a adventure travel company for the fitness community. What you guys can do, though, I want you guys to head to our Facebook, Adventure Fit Travel's Facebook or Adventure Fit Radio's Facebook. We have a survey in there. I want you guys to go in and fill out the survey. It's pinned to the top of our posts. That will tell us, the survey will tell us what type of podcast you want to listen to. We've got what type of guests do you want, rating our segments, what type of fields do you want us to go into, what lengths of the shows you want. So we want you guys to chuck in the details in there for us, and we're going to pick one lucky winner in 1 week's time, and they're going to get a $1,000 Adventure Fit Travel voucher. So it's super easy. There's only a small handful of people that have filled out the survey now, so you're a good chance to win $1,000 to travel with us at Adventure Fit Travel. So that's it from me. Here is Christmas Abbott. All right, Christmas, welcome to Adventure Fit Radio. I'm sitting here with Mac on my right and Tommy on my right as always. And before we throw to Christmas, we're going to start off with Tommy's tribute.
Alrighty. I'm a little bit flat at the moment, so let me just... I think I'm on. All right. This is a cover by John Lee Hooker, Boom Boom. Well, we're sitting here with Chris, Miss Abbott. If I'm being honest, she's a chick I think is rad. It could be the tats or the banter, but whatever it is, I'm excited to have you on the show. Hey. She's involved in many things, from CrossFit to NASCAR pits. She's an entrepreneur, and she writes for the Times. I do a lot of things as well, except they're embarrassing to tell. So without further ado, welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was one of your better ones, man.
Yeah.
That was
sick.
awesome.
Felt on.
That was
I
actually
didn't
good.
feel flat. I felt very aware my voice was. So
I'm up and about that.
Great.
I'm really happy with it.
good.
So,
Know if anybody's ever made a song for me.
oh, there you go.
Happy to be the first. Give me a high five.
Fantastic.
You
Yes.
guys just had a moment.
We had a moment here. We're sharing a
have
moment
of
here.
ourselves.
And I've got a tattoo as well. And I do a lot of things.
I know. Embarrassing things.
Embarrassing things, yeah. Won't go into that.
All right, cool, good stuff. So, Christmas, you're over in Melbourne. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and then you can tell us about your upbringing. Tell us a little bit about who is Christmas Abbott.
Oh, man. I like to give the analogy, there's a whole bunch of tennis balls in a dryer, and then I just have to figure out how to work through that.
Gotcha.
That is my life. Really, that's kind of like
no
my
idea
brain.
what that analogy means, but I'll...
You're a tennis
Think
ball,
about a tennis ball and how it bounces around in the
Gotcha.
dryer, and then put a whole bunch more in there.
Right,
That's my
okay.
day-to-day in my brain.
Right.
And so I I worked really hard to be able to structure my life so I can thrive in the chaos, and have figured out how to make it work for me. So I'm involved in a lot of different things, and some have been embarrassing.
God, we're so similar.
And ultimately, I just love life and all that it brings, and I
seem
just
to be
want to
doing
be
it
able.
well.
Thanks. You know, I fucked it up for a long time, so I'm trying to. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Time or fuck?
What did you do? What did you fuck up?
Yeah.
Oh man, I allowed myself to be a product of my environment and use all these excuses early on in my life, even before I knew that that's what I was doing. I started, smoking at 13,
Same.
drugs. Yeah. Yeah,
Moment,
man.
yes.
Damn.
We were rebels.
2-1.
I actually didn't. It's a total lie. I've never smoked
Oh
it.
man.
No, I
was
have.
That's the only time
I'm a
we're
badass,
gonna
dude.
high five that.
That's right, yeah.
It was shared struggle.
Yeah.
And I just ran with it, and I allowed my my growing up environment, the fact that my parents weren't into fitness or health and wellness, and they were like biker hippies.
So am mine.
Yeah.
I'm not actually saying that as a lie now.
Yeah.
So I know the
lifestyle.
Yeah, and
that
the
it
backdrop
brings.
to kind of be raised on that. Continue.
Yeah. So I just ran with it. And I've always been I think that my genetics and like my family kind of history is like we're rebels,
Yep.
I can throw down. So I just did, and I embraced that full capacity, and then kind of realized that eventually the decisions I was making was going to end up killing me.
What was the significant moment that had that mind shift?
The significant moment, I was working in Iraq. I had been there 3 weeks or less, and we had mortars come in and a couple 100 meters away, and it kind of puts things in perspective real fast. So you're literally getting bombed, and I have this
Wow.
epiphany of like, oh shit, I'm smoking, I'm drinking, I'm in a war zone. How many more decisions is it going to take for myself, like for me to kill myself? And then you're like, fuck. You don't, like at that point in my life, I wasn't like, I'm going to live this amazing life. Like this is my changes I'm going to make. I didn't have that clarity.
Hey.
Hey, what's happening?
I don't know.
Oh, no.
That's a bomb.
It's a ghost.
Oh, don't get me started. I've got a big fear of
The
ghosts.
listeners will
Still gonna
listen.
scream.
Oh, maybe they won't.
Yeah.
We had a little ghost story we just told before the show, guys. So, in case anyone's wondering.
I'm already a
Well, we're all-
little bit nervous right now, so I
Yeah.
just cannot.
We're going to protect you.
Yeah, please.
Okay. You're among friends.
Are you in the new Ghostbusters? Actually, it's all
I
chicks.
don't know. I don't know about this.
It's all chicks. You didn't get a role.
No. No.
Is it all girls?
Why
all
didn't
girls,
you
yeah.
call me? Was this Warner Brothers? Hello.
Exactly. So you're in Iraq. Did you say?
Yeah. And so I just realized that I wanted something better for myself versus just being like, fuck it, whatever happens happens. I saw like the kind of fork in the road that I could be, and not my potential, and it wasn't like I have the self-worth automatically. I still didn't value myself, but I just wanted something better. I wanted to feel better. And
That's really
that
good.
came with just making better decisions, not necessarily good decisions, just
Incrementally better.
incrementally better.
Yeah, that's
I won't
good.
have
little bit.
that dart. I'll have one today.
Yeah.
Good.
That's
It
good.
makes a difference.
It does.
A lot of people, I don't think, get to that fork in the road. They don't see it.
No,
I grew up
especially
with,
not that aggressively.
That's right. I grew up with a lot of people some of my best friends who, some of my friends have lost their marbles, so to speak, from the drug taking. From it was probably 23, 24.
Yeah.
South American trip, took too much cocaine and said, I'm never taking drugs again, and I haven't since. And a lot of my friends have kind of kept on, and they're still my friends, and they're still great people, but a lot of them have never had that opportunity, something come up, and I would say a lot of them have lost some sort of grip, to some extent. So
Yeah. It really is a different experience, a different reality. Until you...
Sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, how did you fight your addiction? How did you overcome it?
I found new addictions.
Yeah.
Good
There's
answer.
a variance of addictive personalities, and I'm well aware that I have an addictive personality. Mine is not so aggressive, so it's a, continuum where you can try something once and you're like absolutely addicted for life and you can't get away from it and it holds you, where some people can do it recreationally, whatever it may be, and never really get fixed. I think that I'm right in the middle, where I can do something a couple times and then if I continue at it, then I'm going to develop that addiction, or I can walk away from it. And my life is kind of reflected that was with drugs. Like that was the time that I turned away from it. Was I was in it. I saw myself. I mean, I was doing meth before I went overseas, and that's how
Wow.
you're in it. Shit, I couldn't afford Coke.
Yeah.
So
Well, I was in South America, so you could have afforded that.
yeah,
I was buying it for $6 a gram.
You gotta really want it,
good
Christmas.
time, just throwing around. So you get to points where you're like, oh man, I'm in it, and you either continue to get into it, or you try and crawl out of it. And luckily for me, my turning point for that was that I got a job overseas. And I had to quit doing drugs in order to pass the drug test.
Yep.
And it was that extreme. But I just kind of refocused to something else. And it was quitting smoking the first thing, and then exercise. And then I found CrossFit. And now it's working. Working is my addiction. I love it. And I'm able to find a better balance of my health and control those addictions, that severity of the addictions, with more positive influences, because anything can have a negative side effect. You know, health and wellness can be an addiction in a negative way where you could become obsessed. You know, bodies.
Absolutely.
You know,
Mac was speaking before when we were interviewing with Lockie and Raf about he had what he would call a bad, unhealthy addiction to CrossFit and training.
Yeah.
Because it
It's
took over his
rampant.
life, and his life wasn't enjoyable.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was ruining my life. Absolutely.
I've been there. I've been there. I actually talk about this in my nutrition seminar, is making sure that you maintain a quality of life. And that if you are over there in the corner fucking cutting lines of your protein powder because you have to have exactly X amount of grams of your protein powder, then you are too far in. So, yeah. You know, people are like, oh, you're too far.
Yeah.
So any good thing can have a negative effect
Absolutely.
if you go too far with
I
it.
got to stop doing that. I don't do it. I like a bin.
How would you suggest to someone who fights addiction, whether it be drugs, food, CrossFit, and they have no motivational drive to fill that void? Because you're saying you just replaced one addiction with another addiction. Is that a healthy approach?
It's not
And-
a healthy approach, but
and
I
maybe
know that
what
I'm
other approaches could we take?
Yeah, it took me a while to realize that I have an addictive personality. And, you know, support groups, accountability helps me control that, meaning like not support groups like AA, but I think that that's a brilliant thing. And I think I've seen a lot of people use that aren't alcoholics for just almost like life.
Life guidance.
Just like life guidance.
Yeah.
It really does. It
Yeah.
makes you become aware with what you want in yourself and honest. So I've really relied on structure and discipline. And if you don't have that motivation to change, then you can't make that change.
Absolutely.
People say they want it, but if they look, you know, it's like people want to get fit, but they won't pay the membership fee because they don't have the money to do it, quote unquote, but they go out and get railed every weekend and spend a membership fee in one night of boozing. It's okay. So you don't really want it. And I think that people have to find their bottom, whatever it is, in order to be able to make that change. My bottom just happened to be mortars coming into my campground and realizing that I was going to die. Unfortunately, most people don't have that larger epiphany. But people will say that they want something, but when it's put in front of them or they have the opportunity to take it, most people are lazy and they don't want to do the work.
It's such a real experience to have that epiphany in that environment. Was it something that so you're talking about this changing your life around scenario? Is that something that hit you straight away when you were in these panic stations, or was it something you, upon reflection, you started to think about?
It was definitely developed over the years.
Yeah.
You know, I just realized I knew I didn't want to die. And the first decision that I made from that was to quit smoking. And because I loved smoking.
I used to always, what I would do is I smoked when I was like 14, 15, 16, 17.
Yeah.
But then from then on for about 7 years, I was a social smoker. But the way it would work is I would drink on a Friday and Saturday night, and I would be so excited to drive down to the bottle shop, the drive-through in Australia. I'm not sure we have drive-throughs, so it's like a McDonald's drive-through. Where you
For
buy
liquor?
For liquor. So I would
When
drive.
it's country enough, you have it. Yeah. in
Yeah,
my
yeah.
city,
So
yeah.
you know it. So you know it well.
We just
So-
drive directly through the shop, steal all the shit, and go. We call it drive-through.
You might
but
call it drive-by.
We call it. We call it robbery.
You basically, you murder a few people, you take the money, you get the beer. But what I would do is I would be so excited on a Friday night to go straight down and go through the bottle, and I would buy the beers, and then I'd buy a full pack of cigarettes, and I would open my beer, have a sip of my beer so I could justify in my head that I'd be okay to have a cigarette.
Yeah.
That was like the point that it had gotten to. And I was in that frame of mind for a fair while, but then I eventually, probably about 3 or 4 years ago, decided enough was enough as well.
Yeah.
But I totally agree. I mean, for me, it felt just normal. There was
Yeah.
a beer in one hand. I was like, all right, well, what do
But
I
it
do with my
was your
right hand?
normal.
Yes,
That's
it
the
was.
thing.
All
That
my
was-
friends, all
that
my
was your
my family
normal.
growing up. My mum and dad were legit the same. They were they grew up. My dad was a biker. They grew up. My mum was a hippie, and they used to smoke heaps of weed. They won't really mind me saying this. I mean, Dad's always been a weed smoker. He's not really anymore. But I grew up around that environment, so I thought that was that was normal. My parents were great parents, are great parents, but it was just probably their upbringing became my upbringing, which made it normal, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it was the same for me. For sure. I mean, and my parents weren't like open about the pot they smoked, but you hang around and everybody's like boozing it up. My dad had the mohawk and everything.
Can I ask one question?
You can ask a lot of questions.
I once, have you ever been asked, do you know the UFC fighter? You know the question. Is that your dad?
No.
Oh man, I don't know how or where, but because I'm a UFC fan and I've obviously seen a lot of stuff that you've done over the years, so I don't know where I found it, but I saw a photo of like Christmas Abbott compared to her dad, Tank Abbott. Tank Abbott. You ever seen Tank Abbott?
No.
He's like 6'4", 120 kilos, with a shaved head and a long grey goatee down to like the middle of his chest. He's the most intense.
Well, you've definitely got the goatee, but I just can't tell you.
I've been working on it.
Yeah,
I've been working on it. Yeah.
Should put that in the song.
I cut you off there somewhere.
No,
but
it's okay.
I just had to clarify.
Yeah. I don't even remember what I was talking about.
Yeah.
So
rocking and rolling.
Yeah, you're just talking about your upbringing. So we've discussed that, I suppose. So when did it become? When did you know that you wanted fitness to become your life? Sorry.
It wasn't. It really wasn't until. It was much later than most people think. So I quit smoking. It took me 3 months to gather the courage.
Yep.
And then I tried running. That was a disaster. I was like, fuck fitness.
Running's shit.
Stupid.
Yeah.
It was awful. I couldn't walk for a week. And then, just out of boredom in a military base, you either drink, play poker, or you work out. And I had tried to eliminate these other two options.
Yep.
And so eventually I was like, I'll try the elliptical. I rocked the elliptical.
Nice.
Nice. I don't even care, who knows it. It was amazing. And so slowly, through just doing a little bit of that, I saw a change in my body. And that was the first time that I saw that I was making decisions that were positively affecting me. Because, when you quit smoking, all you do is you think about smoking. You don't actually get to see the benefit of that decision.
Yep.
And so the elliptical gave me kind of instant gratification over a course of a couple weeks. And that's when I really sparked my interest in fitness, because I was like, wow, I'm making a decision. It's showing, what else can I do? It's kind of like much where people come in and do CrossFit and they do one pull-up for the first time. They're like, give me everything. I'm going to do muscle ups. I kind of went into that same little frenzy. And literally it wasn't until a few years ago, probably about six-ish years ago, that I started to be able to make it my full-time job. And I started a boot camp outside, and I just didn't know. And my friend was like, why don't you do this? I was like, well, because I'm not that person. I'm not the fitness person. I'm late to the game because I found it in my 20s versus
You feel like a phony?
a groomed. I think that every successful person kind of feels in the back of their mind that they, at any point you're like, they're going to figure this out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
sure.
honestly, he was like, why not you? You have the experience, you have the love, the passion. And so I was like, well, fuck it, let me try it out. And it was kind of a great spark since then. And really, it's just been trying new things and playing and having a good time. And that's what I want to keep doing. As soon as it's an awful experience and I hate it, then I'm going to back away.
Good. I like that.
Cool. And so you're over here in Australia at the moment. So from these 6 years ago, these boot camps, you've built yourself quite a brand, the Christmas Abbott brand.
Yeah.
So you're here at the moment. We want to touch on your entrepreneurial stuff, but you're here at the moment. Is it the Badass Body Diet? Are you promoting your...
So I have the book, the Badass Body Diet book, and that spawned from my nutrition seminar. The Body Review is the nutrition seminar name. So I'm doing the nutrition seminar and just having a good time.
Cool.
Loving some Australia.
Yeah. So what's been the highlights of Australia then for you?
Everybody is so nice.
Oh, we're the best, aren't we?
Yes.
Shit.
And we know it.
These three.
I know.
Pretty
And
cool.
you guys are proud of it, and it's amazing. And I'm just walking around, and we're just, it just makes me want to be nicer.
Mm.
Like I'm
Does it
going
make you want to be
home.
Australian?
Go Australia.
Huh?
Does it make you?
I'm actually talking about coming back this fall, so like September or October. I'm working on my next book, and I wanted to do a few weeks in Australia and a few weeks in Bali
Yep.
to
cool.
kind of unplug, detach, because I can't detach if I'm in my city.
Absolutely.
It's like coming to the gym and trying not to work out.
Yeah.
And I just want to detach and be around amazing people that are
Yep.
super
Perfect.
nice and a different atmosphere.
I just flew in from Bali about a week ago or 5 days ago.
Everybody goes.
Yeah, it was good. I've been there. It's very common for Australians. I've been there 8
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
It's like your Mexico, our
Yeah.
version of Mexico.
Got it.
So it's
Yeah.
just on your doorstep there. But yeah, Bali's great. Bali's a great place to unwind.
Mm-hmm.
So cool. You've got the Badass Body Seminar. So what's the Badass, the body review seminars and the Badass Body book. So what is the main, what's the thing that you're trying to get across with these seminars? What's your
message?
Help me out.
Yeah, other than the prescription of the actual nutrition, which doesn't have to be super dialed in, what I'm telling people and what I'm really trying to convey is that it doesn't have to be perfect. It needs to be consistent. You have to have that quality of life consistently in your life in order to be able to be for it to be sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
If you can have the perfect diet regimen, but if you are miserable, you're not going to stick to it.
Yeah, that's right.
That's why people yo-yo diet. I hate the word diet too. I literally fought HarperCollins on this book to not have that word on there, but they convinced me. They're like, look, it's going to get a little bit more, have your message inside,
Makes sense to people,
but it's
I
going to reach a little bit more people if you put it on there initially. So my thing is that it doesn't have to be perfect. It's yours to decide and dictate how far you want to go with it. And even if you just apply the fundamentals, you're going to be so much further in your physical well-being because your nutrition's dialed in. And it's just a great program, and you can tweak it to you so it's not a one-size-fits-all. But ultimately, you have to maintain a quality of life, and this program allows it.
So what's your baseline? You're saying, this baseline, then you tweak it to you.
Yeah.
You're talking to, say, I'm going to guess 20 people in your seminar, or maybe more. Or
It
maybe
varies,
less.
yeah.
Yep. And then you have this baseline. What is this baseline that you work on?
So it depends on, first you have to know your goal, whether there's 3 different types of bodies, and then there's like 4 categories. So depending on what your goal is, basically there's the modifier. So that person wants to do major modifications to their body. So example of like fat loss, weight loss. Then there's the maintainer. So that person's pretty close to where they are, but they just want to sculpt and build versus, like I would be a maintainer most of the time. And then there's the gainer, the person that wants to put on mass, or maybe they're just grossly underweight and they just want to gain weight. Then there's the minimalist. So it would be one of those body types, but just no weighing and measuring of your macros, and being able to loosely apply this concept, which I love. As long as you understand the fundamentals, I do this without even thinking anymore. I don't weigh and measure shit unless it's right before a competition and I have to make weight.
Sure. Yeah.
And so there's the different body types where you fall into play, and then your goal. Let's be honest with what you want. People were like, oh, I want abs, but they don't want to do the work for it. And then restrictions. I don't want to restrict people too much. If you start taking things away from me and I know that I can't have them, I immediately want them, and I immediately obsess. So let's keep
Cigarettes?
them in. Obsess.
Yeah. Cigarettes still?
Cigarettes?
Yeah.
No, actually, because I quit so long ago,
Yeah.
but for a while, for many years,
Sure,
I'd walk by a smoker and I'd be like, yeah, especially if I drank.
Yeah.
Now
Sorry,
it just
Cody.
actually, it turns my stomach and I become furious if I smell cigarettes.
Fuck, I shouldn't have had that packet before.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So how does the baseline of the diet vary from something, say, like the zone diet? So your proteins, carbs, and fats in that kind of macro. So that's for performance. Do you have, is it less carbs, more fat? Is it what's the...
Well, it depends on your body, so it depends on what your goal is. That's adjusted to your goal. But ultimately, I love the zone diet.
Yeah, I was a zone dieter for a while.
The way that I came about this is I consider my diet regimen kind of the CrossFit diet, in the sense of I cherry-picked the things that worked and left all the bullshit. So I tried a ton of different diet regimens because I wanted to know how I performed best. And what worked for me physically didn't necessarily work for me emotionally or mentally, and vice versa. Because if you have the perfect whatever. But I also, the zone diet works really great with balancing the hormonal response to food, because food is a drug.
Yep.
And if anybody tells you otherwise, then they have never been hangry. And we eat to satisfy our soul. And, I go in and I'm like, you shouldn't be restrictive. Remember that the cheats are for the soul, but food's for performance.
What is the cheat? How many cheat days do you get in the badass body?
There's no cheat days.
Okay.
Fuck, really?
Well, how do you structure tub of ice
Do you like
cream
that term, cheat?
I don't.
Yeah.
But
Kind of gauge that.
there's
yeah.
there's not really one that there's not a word that I can replace it
No.
with yet.
Yeah.
Because here it is that it is toxic to your body.
Mm.
You are cheating on your body. Cheats for me are classifications of sugar or alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm having pasta, I'm fine with that. As long as I'm balancing my macros for that meal
Yep.
properly, I'm okay with that.
For sure.
And as long as I also know that it's going to affect my performance a little bit, and if I continue to eat it regularly, then it's going to affect my aesthetics.
Yep.
So that's why I'm like, hey, be real with what you want, because you can. The thing about the zone diet that I was kind of getting to is that it was made for middle America for you to be able to eat shit but still get a positive hormonal response.
Mm-hmm.
And it was limited because we were still eating these processed foods, and saying that you can live off of sausage, beer, and sour cream and be okay. For my program, there's nothing that's really taken away other than sugar and alcohol. And that's even allowed on a weekly basis properly implemented.
Yep.
So as soon as they understand how to balance each meal and what they're looking for in the quality scale of your macros, then they have so much more control over their diet regimen, and their cheats are guilt-free.
Yeah, and it's probably not having the processed or the refined carbohydrates is probably gives it a little bit more variance in their diet as well, to save them just butting their head up against a sweet potato all day, every day. I mean, that's everybody's number one. Paleo, that's your go-to.
Yeah.
So I'm the same. I've been eating prepackaged meals from a company in Australia, and it's good because I can get a mixture of both. But I was trying to gain a little bit of weight for my weightlifting class, because I was a low 85, and now I want it to be a full-blooded 85. And so I started to take in heaps of rice, heaps of pasta, heaps of more processed carbohydrates, and it just didn't work for me at all. It made my brain foggy, made me feel sluggish.
Yeah.
But now I'm back to a mixture of sweet potato for my main source of carbs and rices and pastas and stuff from time to time. It's much better, and it's not as boring.
Do you find it's a mental thing that you're looking to be foggy?
No, I don't think so. I hadn't eaten any processed or refined carbs apart from one slice of bread 3 times a week with breakfast. I hadn't had anything like that in a long time, and I started taking in lots and lots of rices, and probably 2 meals a day was the main source of carbohydrates was rice or pasta, and I felt sluggish. I really felt gross.
So this is a great example of like the gainer program. I actually go on a gainer program for weightlifting too, because I have to try and get my squat up. But it allows more starchier carbs. Starches and grains are really, it's allowed in any of the programs. It's just a percentage of how much and how often and what your training program looks like. So I actually incorporate lots of starches and grains when I'm on my gainer cycle, because as a competitor, I cannot sit there and eat this quote unquote clean meal where it's like nothing but lettuce, and how much broccoli can you eat before you're just torturing everybody around you?
Broccoli's the best, but
I mean, it's
it's the worst.
disaster, right? Be understanding, but also, like, I don't want to sit down and eat a full plate. You're making yourself miserable by how much you're eating. So I reduce the amount by increasing the density of the carbohydrates and density of the meat. I'm going to say grams, or is it?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Grams,
Okay.
yep.
Go. I was like,
You're allowed to say it.
Okay.
You can talk metric if you like. Yeah. We got American listeners.
Yeah, that's right.
3 or 4, I think, for now.
3 feet of broccoli, I think
Yeah.
is what you were going for.
Yeah. I mean, it's
That's a
pretty
big
incredible
trait.
how much. And I tell people too, I'm like, manipulate this diet. So if you want more food, then go into this category. If you want less food to just sit down and eat in one sitting, then go here. If you want to start training heavy, I can't eat vegetables and lift heavy weights. I do not have the energy for it.
Yeah.
So I incorporate heavier grains and starches occasionally. I need that.
Yeah.
You have to have it.
For sure. Me and Tommy were having the discussion earlier because he's in the same boat as me. I just wanted to put on a couple of kilos, and it's just the problem with a lot of that is just the volume of food that you actually have to take in can just be staggering. So that's why I was having a discussion with Tommy, because my weightlifting coach. He's an old school weightlifting coach, so he wanted me to do some more of a dirty bulk for a portion of time.
I love a dirty bulk.
Where I just take in. So what I would do, Christmas, I would go and train, and then on my way home from training, I would stop at the petrol station and I would get a custard donut or a muffin, an iced coffee, and then I would screenshot it sorry, take a photo and send it to my coach. And my coach would be like, yeah, good boy.
Did you fill your car up as well?
Doing well.
Yeah.
Did I say pickle
I just went straight to the
So it's funny. I actually turn to when I really want to put on some size and I have some time to lift through it. I put a lot of dairy into my diet regimen.
Yeah,
Yogurts, milks,
Spot on, same.
creams. Oh my God, I do oatmeal in the morning with powder protein and then heavy whipping cream. You guys apparently don't have this here.
That's good.
It is fucking good.
Should have seen should see the smoothie I had this morning. I had a few scoops of protein, a ton of milk, 2 bananas, shit ton of ice cream, and half an avocado.
What sort of ice cream?
Vanilla.
Hey.
This has just turned into a
Wee.
food porn session.
Yeah.
I'm actually
Is this in
cutting
the diet?
weight.
Is this in
I'm
the diet?
cutting weight while I'm here.
Yeah.
and
Oh,
like,
no.
I've been like,
Sorry.
oh man.
But yeah, so I've been on a bit
Okay.
of more of a dirty bulk, so because I just don't have time, I can't take in enough
Right.
food. So I have 3 to 4 maybe good meals of quality food,
Right.
and then I shovel a whole bunch of, not so healthy
I mean,
carbohydrates
but
and calories.
I would never look at you and be like, oh man, he's smashing donuts.
Yeah, that's right.
Every day.
I've got
Well,
the
how
fastest
about you take that
metabolism
shit
in the
off,
world.
mate, and
Well,
we'll...
because you have the training program to support it, right?
Yeah, that's right. I train
Yeah.
5-6 days a week, and I train 2.5 hours a day. So
Yeah.
whatever goes
Weightlifting
in is
life.
coming straight out.
Even when you're bulking or talking to others about bulking, do you still try to talk about balancing hormone levels and all that
Yeah,
sort of
because
thing?
even when you're bulking, there's still like an insulin response. You still are getting I tell people, I'm like, food is your drug and a prescription. You're not going to just get a prescription from your doctor, 30 pills, or, say it's 80 pills for a month. Well, you don't know when and how much to take it. And so food it needs to be scheduled, or at least fit into your schedule. So you know when to eat and you can accommodate appropriately.
Sure.
And people they just wing it. It's like the most important part of your day, and you're pissing it away. Literally, just like, whatever. Oh, I think I'm just gonna find something, and they put no forethought onto it. So when I talk about my seminar, like I talk about how to prepare for success and how to prep that, and the work is done on the front end, and it's gonna pay dividends in the back. And literally,
Booty!
sometimes I'm just
Oh.
so funny to myself.
Are we talking about poo now?
What is that?
Yeah.
What?
I don't know what that
What
is.
Did you say the word poo?
I think I did.
Poo.
Yeah. Oh. Wait, how do
Chris
you
was
say
hitting me
it?
up about it. I was
I thought you
like,
said
oh, fuck.
Puna.
Crap. Oh,
Puna. Or nah.
No.
We'll just leave it as
Yeah, we'll leave it at
Okay.
poo for today.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
But yeah,
No, you're right.
it really does. It's important to balance those hormonal levels throughout the day, and that just gives you so much more stability in like the way that you think, the way that you feel, your emotional well-being. People don't understand that it affects everything. It's like pretending that you're going to be okay if you start your day off with a line of blow. Like all day you're going to be like in this kind of weird frenzy spin tail.
Great first 30 to 40
Isn't
minutes
it?
of the day.
Yeah.
You probably get all your day's work done in that 30, 40 minutes.
Morning, Tom. Hey!
But starting your day off with a bowl of cereal and orange juice is doing the same thing
Yeah,
with food.
that's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
How's that analogy?
Yeah, it's really good.
Boom.
I just get the feeling when people, from speaking to a lot of the members at the gym that I work at and other people in the fitness industry, dirty bulk, it's like, sweet, alrighty, I'm eating whatever the fuck I want. I'm going hardcore at it. But you hit the nail on the head before. The body just takes what it needs and then gets rid of the rest of the shit that it doesn't need. And it's hard. I don't know. I find that when I'm trying to bulk, I don't know the word, trying to put on muscle, or
Gain.
Gain.
Yeah.
Hit those gains.
Gain.
Hard gain.
That was an American accent, dude. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I can do that, bro. Yeah, just...
That was like a frat American accent.
Oh, God, yeah. I went to... this is
the
a
quarterback.
massive tangent, but me and my mates went to America the end of last year, and we went into a frat party, and the amount of dudes just talking about beers and chicks and
Yeah.
pizza, bro.
Oh.
It was just insane, man. And I was like, whoa, this is a lot to handle. I
The
feel like I'm in Mean Girls.
testosterone
Really
is
in America.
rampant.
Yeah. Only in America. Oh, it's good. But, yeah, I just find that, apart from having the temptation of, okay, I'm on a dirty bulk, I'm going to eat whatever I want now, it's just too hard for me. I don't know. It's just, do you talk about much? So when you're talking about with your clients and stuff about putting on weight, do you go the side that Bill's talking about, or do you stick to a more cleaner approach?
No, I let them know that they have to get a little dirty with it. I'm not advocating donuts because there you have that sugar And I don't want to feed that addiction. And we unknowingly have that addiction. I am such a sugarholic. But ultimately, you know, I try and push them towards more the starchier carbs, grains, and dairy.
Yep.
Specifically dairy if they're bulking. And then they freak out. They're like, oh, man, what about the inflammation? I'm like, you can handle that a little while. You know, you just make sure that you're aggressive with your anti-inflammatories and your supplements. But ultimately, you use that as a bridge. So I implement dairy into my training regimen to get me to a certain point, and then I take it out. And I allow the benefits to shine from the starchier carbs and the dairies, but I'm still trying to stay away from that sugar addiction that is really going to mess you up.
Dairy's a big one for me as well. I've gone through 2 periods. One when I was CrossFitting years ago, where I was like 80 kilos, probably around about 80. I wanted to put on. I did a competition where I was. There was a few workouts that were prohibitively heavy. Like I couldn't actually get through the workout. I wasn't gassed, but I couldn't get through, so I wanted to get strong. Yeah. And my coach back in the day when I was CrossFitting, he just put me on a dairy diet. He's like, drink as much milk as you can take in nearly. Oh. And I don't have I'm fine with lactose. Yep. I can just drink it by the gallon. So I was drinking like 2 or 3 liters of milk a day, only for a short period of time, like 3 months. And then after that, I just have a real sweet tooth of milk. So I still take in cream. A fair bit of, not cream, just a fair bit of full cream milk.
Okay. Did you find that your joints were a bit sore?
Nah.
Inflammatories and all that?
Didn't give me any grief, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it depends. I think it's really individually dependent. But I have found that, like, I definitely feel the inflammation. My body doesn't like it very much, but I love the results that it gives me. Yep. So depending on what your goal is and what your body can handle, you don't know unless you test it.
Yes.
And there's like this very anti-dairy movement right now, but that shit works.
Yeah.
And
it's the best complete meal there is nearly.
Yeah,
I've got everything.
Milk,
full cream milk.
Beautiful,
and if you haven't had heavy whipping cream on your oatmeal, then you have not experienced life.
Damn. I don't think I've experienced life.
Yeah, I think
Holy shit.
And we asked for heavy cream when we got here, and they thought we were asking for ice cream in our coffee.
Oh,
yeah. It's like,
right.
sounds delicious,
on the other side of the scale then, so you've got bulking. What about you're trying to cut a little bit?
Yeah.
You know, do you stick to, if you take out your dairy, your grains, are you more paleo approach, or are you higher protein? What's your baseline?
Paleo pisses me off.
Lose weight.
No, I'm just talking
weight loss.
Weight loss.
Yep.
Yeah. General weight loss.
So let's identify that as fat loss.
Okay.
Because weight loss, I don't want to lose my muscle. Most people like to have their muscle, but it's usually an excess amount of fat that they're trying to get rid of. And with fat loss, I specifically recommend the premium category of my diet regimen, which is like whole foods, meaning not the grocery store, but fruits, vegetables, meats, and fats, nuts and seeds, any kind of variations of butters for that. Yep. Not like dairy butter, but nut butters, seed butters. But you can't stay in there 100% of the time, because you're going to be driving your head through a wall, because you're eating such large meals in order to be able to get enough food to sustain your life and lifestyle. Those are two different things, like the ability to have your organ function versus the ability to go and perform well in your CrossFit workout or whatever fitness regimen it is, or even to be smart during your work. And so I tell people, I'm like, you can be cutting weight. So right now I'm starting to cut weight. So I'm going into my modifier. And I go into my modifier, which is just a little bit more restrictive on no dairy, little bit of starchy grains here and there. But ultimately, I'm going to be eating those whole foods for the most part. And I'm balancing my macros every meal. And I'm just making sure that I'm eating enough to sustain my life and lifestyle, but not eating to excess where I'm going to be gaining mass or extra body fat.
Yeah.
Cool. And, it kind of sucks, because I like to eat. And I'm here in Australia, and you guys have some amazing places to eat. And I'm here with my buddies, and they're eating all these wonderful things. And I'm over there like my grilled fish and my veggies and my little dal, whatever. And I'm just like,
It's a big tree of broccoli you managed to get from the US to here.
Yeah.
I don't know how you did that.
So what are the most, the best actionable tips that you have for people for maintaining a healthy body and a healthy diet? People that, just the general populace out there that might not be able to get to a seminar or might not be able to.
This is what I tell people. I'm like, no matter who you are, what you do, if I'm going to give you a little CrossFit analogy. the information that I'm going to give you is basically like learning how to do CrossFit in your garage. It is effective, and you're going to have a good time with it, and you're going to be, you'll see a huge difference immediately. However, if you go to your CrossFit gym for a month, learn the fundamentals, do workouts, and understand the movements and how to execute the workouts, you're going to see an exponentially increased benefit.
Yes.
Right?
For sure.
So my 101, you doing CrossFit in your gym without having to ever go to a CrossFit nutritional advice is balance your macronutrients. So a fat, a carbohydrate, and a protein every meal. So really we were looking at proteins and carbohydrates and just enough fat to make you feel full and happy. People understand that fat satiates your appetite. And so a lot of people tend to overeat because they don't have that fat component.
Yeah.
And so we really...
Macadamia nuts.
Yeah.
I always have a bag
God,
of
I
macadamia
love
nuts
them.
in my car.
I will eat a whole bag.
Pardon?
They're like my crack.
Well, you know what I do as well, because they're really expensive in Australia.
They're
So-
expensive in the States.
Yeah, so we have a self-scanning checkout. So you go and it's like pick your own lollies.
So basically you steal.
No, I don't steal. Wait, let me
I don't
finish.
steal. I just borrow
So-
permanently.
Forever.
So what I do is I scoop up a full bag, a ridiculous size bag. The bag would cost me like $40. I go through and I punch in. So you put your own sticker on there. You choose which, so you can pick like dried apricots, peanuts,
Oh, man.
banana chips
Banana
are
chips?
$9.99 per kilo. So I go the banana chip, $9.99 per kilo versus the $49.99 per kilo for macadamia nuts. Slap it on there, bag of macadamia nuts, $2.
So how
I'm
the
going
hell is that
grocery
not,
shopping with you.
yeah, I'll show you how
Yeah.
it's done.
how is that not stealing?
Well, it's reducing.
It's reducing. Yeah, and which Coles do you shop at?
It's a
One in
fire
South
sale
Melbourne,
that I don't know about.
And your name is Bill Kerr.
Bill
and you
Kerr,
live in
Adventure Fit
Melbourne.
Radio.
They're going to have a person there checking people just because of you.
Yeah,
I've ruined it for everyone.
I've recently got on the idea of another coach who I work with got me on the idea of putting avocados through his onions, and that's not stealing. I mean, you're just swapping the food, but essentially it's stealing. It's
You know what
definitely
I
stealing.
also used to do? They have in the self-serve checkout in Safeway.
Yeah.
I am actually a criminal, so I'll explain why. I used to work with a kid called Searsy, and I was like 26, 27 at the time. This was like 3 years ago. So Searsy was 21, 22, and we used to go and get lunch together. And what we would do is I would say, Searsy, you got to spot me, bro. And he would come up and he would stand in between me and there's like one person that kind of goes up and down the 6 self-serve checkouts. So I would make sure he blocked the person so they couldn't really get eye-line view of me. And then, when you scan something, it beeps?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
as the person next to me would scan something, I would grab something, go straight past the scanner, beep, at the same time and just dump it in the bag.
No, but the thing.
But what about the things that go off?
The way it goes
Yeah,
off.
they put the scales in because of this guy.
What? No,
They didn't used to have the scales.
Oh,
Yeah.
they
So
have
the scales at weights and stuff. So, and
Yeah.
it's
So they're called the Bill Kerrs.
like, yeah.
No way.
Yeah, so I legit used to steal from stuff. Sorry.
But he doesn't anymore. He just
No.
switches
yeah,
the stickers.
I'm
He's just
reformed.
He's just
I'm
an arsonist.
reformed.
He
I'm
just sets
less-
fire
He's
to
just gotten
buildings.
smarter.
I'm like 30% less of a criminal.
Yeah, that's cool, man. You should go to those AA meetings. Hi, I'm Bill. I steal.
Do you want to go to? Should we go? Is this a good time to go to the good, the
JBS.
bad, and the science?
Ooh.
Want to learn some stuff? Hear some
Segment.
news?
Feel like
Keen to learn some
sure.
shit. Alrighty.
Drop it.
Alrighty. So this is a segment that we do, and basically it's something cool, so good, positive that happens in the media, something bad, and then something sciencey, because we're all pseudoscientists. So we think we know a shitload about science and like black holes and cool stuff, but we know nothing. So we want to learn.
Okay.
Yeah. So the good. Gwyneth Paltrow lets bees sting her for beauty. The Iron Man star said that the treatment, called apitherapy, had been used for thousands of years but had fallen out of fashion in recent times. In an interview with the New York Times, where she said beauty advice, she described herself as being generally open to anything. I'm always the guinea pig to try everything. I've got to try them all. She went on to say, it's painful. So, Christmas, what is your best beauty tip?
Oh my God.
Because I'm not
Don't
really
get
that
stung
keen to
by
get stung.
bees.
Yeah.
Well, one, wash your face.
Yep.
Good
Okay, I'll
tip.
write that down.
Very
feel like-
solid
I
first
feel
tip.
I'll
like
start that.
There's
a shower.
there's like a slew of things that I can tell you. Water is a wonderful thing. Wash your face, sunscreen. I'm 34,
Okay.
and fitness is the fountain of youth. And I absolutely should look 10 years older because of the damage that I have done for a decade to my body. And sometimes continue to do when I decide to have a raging drinking night.
Nice.
Look, I'm honest,
water.
right? I mean, like, I'm not perfect, and I like to party
That's
still.
what we
good.
like.
Yep.
It's my spirit. But I think that we just, like, especially as people running around, there's so many things floating around the air. Wash your face before you go to sleep. Moisturize and drink tons of water, and it just, like, it really is kind of like a wrinkle eraser.
Yeah. All right. So if I wanted to get on the cover of Maybelline, do I reckon just drink water, wash my face, because I don't do that. And
See?
what was the last one again?
Water,
Yeah.
face,
Moisturize.
sunscreen.
Sunscreen. Yeah,
Or
sunscreen. Yeah.
moisturizer, yeah.
And moisturize. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
going to start doing
You're
that.
on, son.
Yeah,
Maybe it's
it's like the
Maybelline.
simplest stuff goes such a long way. People start getting into this like frenzy of I need to do this, I need to do this chemical peel, and trust me, there's a certain amount of maintenance that you have to do, but there's a baseline. You can't retroactively, like regenerate
You got to
those
be doing
cells.
the basics.
You got to do the basics.
Yeah.
You can't. It's like you got to come in and work out 3 times a week before you can really do like a competition, right? You can't jump in day one to do the competition. That's the same thing with your face. I don't know if that analogy works. Fuck.
It's a tough question.
So snatch a barbell, wash your face. Yeah. You know what I mean.
What do you got, Tommy?
Alrighty, the bad. Hundreds set to strip for whole nude photograph. That is the title of the article.
What is
Residents-
bad about this?
Yeah, well, well, we'll go on. I'll show
In
you.
that case, well, let's get it.
Let's do it. Show us that, Rick. Hundreds, I just said that. Hundreds set to strip. I'm going to go on.
Yep.
Residents of Hull are being asked to bear all in the name of art. The city will host American photographer Spencer Tunick, who is known for his images of masses of naked people around the world.
Yeah.
The photo shoot is scheduled for the 9th of July. Organisers hope hundreds of people will take part in the Sea of Hull installation. So I put this into the bad because when I read it, I immediately saw this one weirdo with like a camera just taking tons of photos of naked people and getting really keen to keep doing that. So I thought I'd...
Have you seen his work?
I haven't.
It's pretty neat.
Yeah, so I'm being
Yeah.
kind of
I've
ignorant at
seen
the moment, aren't I? I'm being really ignorant.
I've seen it.
Is it good stuff?
Yeah, it's really artistic. Always
It's
different
compelling,
kind of-
So
Yeah.
why is it artistic?
It's artistic if you take 50,000 people, get them all naked, get them all huddled up into balls, and take the photo from above the Louvre or something.
Yeah.
It's
It's,
just
Oh,
like,
it's a
provocative.
cool,
It's,
like-
Yeah.
it's
What's
not...
What's his name? I'll look
But
it
it's
up now.
also
Yeah, let's have a
not
look.
cheeky.
Yeah.
What's his name?
No pun intended.
Yeah, that's right. That's 2 now.
Yeah.
Something about bums.
Spencer.
But I think this is a beautiful thing because one, if it was just being like people marching down the street naked, that is a different thing than you're forcing me to watch something that I
Yeah.
may not want to participate in.
Yeah.
But
It's
this is
art.
an invite. This is a come be part of art,
Oh,
be part of
yeah.
history.
I'm just pulling up some
it's
photos
pretty,
now.
pretty cool.
Let's have a look.
And me, I'm about like you were born naked.
yeah.
Oh, wow, that's
And
really
then-
cool.
and then scroll.
Hey.
God, I really feel ashamed of
What
myself.
was the,
No,
what was the
so-
question?
It
You have a
was,
question?
the question was,
I'm
yeah.
just giving my opinion. And
No,
I'm
Tom.
like,
Typical
I missed the
Christmas.
question. Christmas is all over this shit.
Yeah. No, the question was just going to be, what's like the weirdest situation you guys have found yourself naked? Naked in. Yeah. I know you've got a story, Bill.
Do I? Did I tell you that? Do you know what story?
Well, I hope I wasn't there for it.
Nah. Do you know what I was talking about?
You're
Yeah.
talking about your ice bucket challenge.
Oh, the
Oh,
ice
that's
bucket
right,
challenge. Yeah, that was kind of funny. I've got another
Yeah.
one. I did it. You know the ice bucket challenge? I'll tell that one actually.
Yeah.
Do you know the ice bucket challenge everyone did a couple of years ago?
throw
Throw
yeah.
a bucket of ice on
Yeah,
yourself.
stupid.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so I got nominated for it, and I was like, I walked in the gym on Friday morning. This was, and I was like, hey guys, I got nominated. Did I tell this story on the podcast the other day?
No.
Did
I?
I?
Yeah.
I've heard this out of your
Yeah,
mouth.
you've heard
No.
it 50 times. But so anyway, what happened was,
Yeah.
I walked in. I'm like, I got nominated for this ice bucket challenge, but I don't understand how it works. Like, what do I have to do? And the guys are like, oh, you got to get an ice bucket poured on you, or you give $50 to charity. And I was like, well, that sucks, because if I'll do it. I'm like, I'll do it, but no one gets any money. So I said, all right, fuck it, I'll chuck in $50, and let's raise some money. Everyone from the gym can throw a bucket of ice on me as well for an extra $10, so we'll raise more money
Awesome.
for charity. So I said that, and about 4 or 5 people straight away put their hands up. We're like, yeah, we'll do it. I swear I told this on the podcast.
Yeah, I
maybe.
think you did.
Where
Your-
the-
Well,
Where was
I'm
I?
going to tell Christmas now. Sorry, listeners.
Yeah.
Refresher.
So
Yeah.
so
We
what
get
happened
it,
was
you were naked.
I said, yeah, okay. So what I'll do is I'll get $10 from every person. They can throw their own bucket of ice on me, and about 4 or 5 people donated $10, and I said, actually, if we get to $200, I'll do it in the nude.
Yeah.
And then one of the guys that I coached with was like, I'll give $100, and then instantly we had $200. And then I went out and did it on the street in the middle of South Melbourne in the middle of the day. It was pretty funny. It was right in front of a real popular cafe. And so I had a bunch of people. I think there was like 15 ice bags. I had to stand in a bucket full of ice, get all these buckets of ice thrown at me. And then it got on the radio and there was photos taken. So I started to leak little photos and little snippets. And I demanded that people donate more money to see the full amount of footage.
Yeah.
And it
leverage.
it got up to $2,500. It was sick.
That's
on
amazing.
a Friday afternoon. Yeah.
That's
cool.
sick.
I gave it to
That's
Beyond Blue.
awesome.
I feel really like a dick for telling that story. That's 2 podcasts in a row, I swear.
No, please tell us again.
That's my only story.
So the only way this is okay is if you include photos or some sort of you gotta. Well, when you post this podcast,
He can just get nude
we need
right now if you
photos
want.
of this
Just get naked now.
because there's plenty of photos of me naked. So we need some more photos of y'all naked.
You guys chat amongst yourselves.
a fair point.
And I'll,
He's gonna blow
Yeah.
it.
I haven't seen these naked photos yet.
Yeah.
So I need to hear you guys because I'm trying to think of like an awkward situation where I was naked.
Yeah. I can't remember if it was a dream or not, but I was like super young. And I just remember like walking out completely naked and then this chick who like had a massive crush on the time walking in the door. That sounds like a dream, doesn't it?
Sounds like a dream.
That's definitely a dream,
What
isn't
was her reaction?
Yeah. Well, her reaction was she was not impressed. Definitely a dream. That's definitely a dream.
she called the police.
If it was real life, she'd be impressed.
I lost a bet and had
yeah?
to streak down the main street of Byron Bay. And that's
Naked?
about it. Naked, yeah.
That's awesome.
With my arms up in the air.
With your arms up.
Yeah.
So you couldn't cover yourself?
That was the bet, yeah.
With your 3 arms up in the air.
Yeah.
Nice. We've got one more thing. So this is the pseudoscience part.
Well, I'll just say I don't think that I have any strange experiences. I just like to be
naked a lot.
naked. So when I am naked, it's not awkward.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you make it awkward.
Mac's getting really excited.
But I did have to sit on a bag of ice when I was in Baghdad doing hash runs because
Right.
like you do the hash running, and I was getting named. And, you sit on a bag of ice with your pants down, and they pour stuff on you and
so-
beer,
that's cold.
and they make you drink beer out of your shoe.
A shoey.
Shoey.
Oh, shoey.
Yeah, they torture
sick.
you.
Also
I
known
love it.
as a shoey in
Yeah.
Australia.
A shoey. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, the science. Laser cloak could hide Earth from aliens. Professor David Kipping, also known as the Kipping pull-up. Oh, it's such a bad. Thanks for laughing. I was like, I didn't know how that one would go.
I'm just doing it for the listeners so it doesn't sound bad. Damn
it. Professor David Kipping, an astronomer at Columbia University in New York, has said the relatively simple concept could make the world invisible to intelligent life forms from another galaxy. He said that bearing controller laser emissions into outer space could disguise the dimming of light caused by the planet each time it passed in front of the sun. So basically, he's saying he believes that there's this shield that we're creating around Earth, around the atmosphere, that could be hiding our life from aliens. If we are trying to find, we sent that Voyager craft out into space to try and
Another one.
get found. You know the Voyager spacecraft?
Oh my
No?
God.
Damn it.
It's like, nerds!
Yeah. Hey, loser! So the Voyager craft has it's got all the most amazing things of humanity. So it's got like this it's got mathematics of where to find us in our position in the universe. It's got beautiful
playing.
symphonies.
Music playing.
Yeah, was it
really
Wolfgang
nice.
Mozart?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah,
Plays just
a good mate of mine, Wolfie. He does a lot of shoeys. So my question, guys, is it a good or a bad thing? Do we want to get noticed by intelligent life and risk being annihilated, or do we want to stay where we are, at least for this stage? What do you reckon?
I mean, I'm always an advocate of change and progression and, the risk of annihilation. Well, the risk of staying static where we are is also kind of
Annihilating.
Yeah, it's like, it's kind of, I think about, let's reduce it to a little bit less than the universe and beyond. I don't even know what to say. Galaxy, right? Multiple. Is it the universe
there's
collective?
our planet.
This
Universe.
is showing
solar
my
system, tons of galaxies, universe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and beyond.
And beyond.
And beyond.
And beyond. To infinity.
Up and away, Junior.
So if we think about our lives,
It's Buzz Lightyear of Toy Story.
Yeah.
You just totally.
Who the hell
ruined
was that?
I don't know, man.
I know what you mean. Oh, yeah, that's a great movie. Do you feel lucky, punk?
yeah. I thought you knew that. That's why you
Yeah.
said and beyond.
Oh, yeah, no, I think we're on the same page. I think Bill's off on another bloody...
He's in another galaxy.
He's in another galaxy.
So bringing it back down to earth, we think about our lives, and this is something that I always kind of freak out about is I want to look back and knew that I lived my full potential. And even though change is scary, like right now, there's just a lot of things going on where I'm having to make large leaps of faith in my life to kind of keep progressing, or I could stay where I am and ultimately kind of wither away. So for me, I think that let's not shield ourselves, and hopefully
let's suss 'em
the
out.
other intelligent beings
Yep.
are cool, and we can have podcasts and hang
Yeah.
out and some chewies every now and then.
Yes, I like it. What are you on the same page?
Sure. No, mate.
You're such a scientist, aren't you, man?
I tuned out, brother.
I know
I'm
you
not gonna
did.
lie.
That's why I pointed to you.
Once we started referencing Toy Story, this
Yeah.
was like,
Macca, he's had a hard day.
Move on.
So I've got the Naked Ice Challenge ready to show you after
Yeah.
the show. Or you want to see now?
Well, it's not good for our listeners.
well,
'cause
we're
it's
gonna
be-
attach this.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well,
Put in your show
we're
notes.
going to attach it. So, all right, we'll do it now.
Let's have a look.
Are we
Right.
gonna? Let's see.
Oh, yeah.
Right, so
So
walk
this
me
is,
through this.
This is out the front of
Oh.
a cafe in
There
You
it is.
just ran out naked. You didn't even get naked
No,
outside.
I told you it was the naked.
Yeah, yeah, but sometimes people go to the space and get naked first.
Yeah. Is that a filter or no filter?
That was my mate
So-
Truzzy. See that one hit me in the back? I got welts all over my back. You'll see another one where he annihilates me. So he wasn't one of the gym members. He just came
Yeah.
down to put me through pain. Watch this. Ready? And whack! That one. I had welts all over my back. This stage I'd given up.
You were like looking back. You're like, I'm gonna chase that guy who did it.
He's one of my best friends.
And your feet are in there.
Yeah, I'm in a bucket of ice.
Oh, your
really-
gains are looking good.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Oh, you've been on those
Savage just
donuts.
pretty much said, I've got a rig. I've got the badass body.
Damn. You've got a nice, you got a nice
I mean,
rig.
they
Yeah.
just came at you.
Need some glute med work, but aside from that,
Oh man. So I do this thing on January 1 every year. I jump into ice. I started in Idaho, which is super cold. So it was like snow on the ground and everything. Oh, they dumped the
yeah,
whole
then
thing
there's
on
the
you.
whole thing.
And you
I
went
ran
back
into
willingly.
about 50 minutes up the road was my gym. I had to run, quickly have a 10-second shower, and then coach the 5:30 class.
In the nude.
Yeah. Sorry about that, listeners.
But yeah,
You'll
on
see the video.
January 1, I do this thing because I hate being cold and I really, really hate cold water. So I jump into a cold lake on January 1. And, for me, it's like not only a physical challenge because it just pisses me off, but two, a mental challenge of if I'm going to embrace day one of the new year of something that I hate and get through it and suck it up, then the rest of the year's cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's good.
That's solid.
Also,
I
a good way
don't
to
want to do
cure
that.
Yeah.
It's like a challenge. Keep
so
it.
that's the good, the bad, and the science. So,
It certainly is.
Christmas Abbott, the brand. So obviously, I think there's a lot of things we can delve into that would help anyone in the fitness industry or any other industry for that matter. In your getting some resources from you to explain how you've kind of become this multimedia kind of fitness mogul.
Mm-hmm.
So what are the best practices for someone starting out? So you've got a lot of exposure. You're across absolutely everything as far as your self-promotion of yourself and what you're doing. What are the best resources, best platforms? Where would somebody start?
First I'd have to listen to, they need to be honest with what they want. People are like, oh, I just want this, but really in their heart, they want something else out of it. And so if they're not true with themselves about what they're trying to get out of what they're doing, then it's not going to work. Being like, I am unapologetically me, meaning that like, I still cuss, I still rage, but I love what I do. And you can body shame me. I don't give a fuck. And I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing because I love it and I have unlimited passion for it. And that's what resonates with people. And I know my purpose. My purpose is to help people recognize that they have the ability to change their life no matter where they are in their life. And my vehicle for that is through fitness and wellness. So depending on what their goal is and what their purpose is, most people don't know. And they're fumbling around, and that's why they are not successful in whatever they're trying to do, is because they don't have a goal. They're just kind of figuring it out as they go. I call that FIFO, figure it the fuck out. Yeah, it's
I
nice.
play FIFA on Xbox. It's really good. I'm good at it.
So really, you have to kind of reduce that a little bit. As for like platforms that are effective,
Yeah,
is that
where
what
do you
you're
get
kind
your
of asking for?
best? Yeah, I mean, so obviously that's a really good answer. You want people to find what they're passionate about, because that's obviously going to come across and they're
Yeah,
gonna
some
be
people want to be
successful.
like fitness stars. Some people want to just be famous. Some people, some people just want to be like the Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
Cool. It is whatever. You're not going to do it. There's a dime a dozen at best. Platforms specifically, if you're looking at like media platforms, I use Facebook is still really great. Instagram is great. And in Snapchat, I do Snapchat. So like Snapchat's really cool because it's true, authentic, in the motion. It's not polished, where Facebook and Instagram have become super polished. Snapchat is cool because you can't upload it. It's in the moment.
I just got a message from one of my members just when we started this
Yeah?
podcast saying, "Oh my God, I just saw you on Christmas's Snap."
Oh, we're on your
Yeah.
Snapchat.
Yeah, I've been
Oh,
snapping
really?
all
Oh,
day.
man.
singing on
You've
your
been serenading my snap.
How many people you got
sick.
on your Snapchat?
Right now, I have about, I'm pretty close to 20K per snap.
Boom,
Whoa.
Tommy. You're famous now, man.
I'm famous.
Yeah.
Hey
Oh,
guys,
in the worst way possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Is that loser that can't sing? Shit. No, that was Mac.
But really, you can utilize all these things. You can do paid posts and etc. You can get a marketing PR company, depending on what you want to do. But if you're not authentic, or you have like a niche and do what you freaking love, then people are gonna smell it right away.
Yeah.
That you can't fake the funk for so long, and that's why I have been successful, because I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I just know that this is my goal, like my life purpose, and I love this. And that's really been the shine. And I hate being so obscure. Like, if we can get into the business aspects of it and the analyticals, cool. But man, it doesn't work if you're not 100% committed to what you are doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a. Did you just smoke bomb? Boom! I'm out.
Christmas.
Christmas just disappears from the podcast.
Microphone just hits the ground.
Laters.
Yeah.
Sit on it.
All right. So I wanted to talk about
Not our ones.
like building a database. Do you have so you've got a huge social media following?
I do.
Do you have like a mailing list and a database?
I do.
And is that super important to you? How do you go about building
It
that?
is super important, but it only recently became important because I realized that I had a lot of people following me and I had a lot of messages out there, but they're following me kind of not for the purpose that I wanted them to follow me for.
Yep.
What were they following
And the
you for?
algorithms always change as well.
Yeah.
Go on.
Sorry?
What were they following you for, and
You
what
know,
do you want them to follow you for?
A lot of it's like materialistic in the sense of, aesthetics. I love
shots.
booty shots, and I love a booty shot, right? Camera comes out, and I'm just like,
Hello.
wink at it. Love
winking at
it.
booties.
I love winking at booties.
But I also have a big message to say, and
Yeah.
I'm using that to convey the larger message. So I'm capturing more database and pushing people towards that email list. And every week I put it on an email, and the email isn't booty shots.
Yeah.
It is my philosophy, my real-time struggles right now, my real-time accomplishments, that kind of bigger concept. That's applicable to real life, which is what I'm working on my next book for. And then it has a little snippet of like what I'm doing, and then a little bit of extra like, hey, this is a reward for you. You get this coupon code or discount only for my email list. So I'm finding that people are really digging the bigger concept picture.
Yeah.
In the
It's like a
email
gateway
list.
drug.
Yeah, instead of just being like,
the flashier Instagram and the flashier social media channels.
Yeah.
So how do you convert? How do you get people from your social medias to your database? Is that just through go to my website, guys, or do you have any hidden gems that people want to know about? I'm very interested because we have our social media following. We don't have anywhere near as large as you, but the end game is to get everyone on our database so
Right.
we just provide good content as well, but we have what we do, which is provide holidays and so on and so forth. So yeah.
Yeah, I love what you guys do.
Yeah, we just got back from Bali trip, which was awesome. It was so much fun, but don't need to talk about that. But so
We just did.
www.adventuretravel.com.
Yeah.
Always plug, guys. Always plug.
Yeah. So do you have an actionable way to get your members from your followers from social medias to your database, or is it just through, hey guys, check out the website and you've got like a pop-up or something?
I don't have a system in place other than just saying, hey, look, and then, things like this, just saying, hey, look, you get a little bit more, you get more of an insight.
Yep.
That's where it is. But if they go and purchase anything from me, then they automatically get put on that.
Yep.
If they sign up, there's lots of things that I'm doing to kind of help
push it
along. But right now I have not discovered any sort of way to pull that information into another. And I'm still looking for it. So, hey, guys out there, if you have that information, then email me on christmasabbott.com or sign up for my newsletter. It's a little bit of a manual process right now with that, and it's frustrating because I do have such a large following in that case.
Yeah.
But I'm also kind of doing a little bit more collaborations. We're really just starting to brainstorm how to do that.
Yeah, fair
and
enough.
transfer it.
That's cool. I think touching back on the Instagram and all your followers, I think you do it really well. So obviously you're very attractive, and a lot of people would follow you for that. But you actually give a lot of good content. Obviously, you're getting people into lots more health and fitness. I have a big problem with Instagram for a lot of the reasons. Well, like the Instagram has become an avenue for people to not have to work just because they're good looking. Like hashtag.
Idiots to push out meal plans that have no idea
what about
health
the
and wellness.
Girls that are like, oh my God, I can't believe I had the most amazing protein shake today, and the protein shake is here next to like a massive set of tits.
And nipples.
I'm liking the shit out of that photo every time. I'm following those girls.
For us ugly people.
But I mean, it's just not a.
It's good.
It's not a healthy. Like I got Dave and Jackie that work for Adventure Fit.
Yeah. I love Dave. I love Jackie.
Yeah. And they're great. They're the same, They give actual Dave's all the time. I'm walking down the street with Dave. People like shake his hand. Oh my God, man, you're an inspiration to me. Like he gives value.
Yeah.
He's got a beard. He's got tats. He's ripped. He's tan. Whatever. He's got that. So that's why a lot of people follow him. But he also gives value back.
Yeah.
But there's just so many people out there that just give nothing back, and they get paid big bucks. And I just think it's a bad loophole in the system.
It is, but I will be honest with it. I don't see it going away. It's going to only get worse. So it's our responsibility. Like for me, it's my responsibility to really continue, and even more so than ever, convey that bigger message and continue to do good things. And my bigger goal is to be not necessarily behind the scenes because I love the spotlight. Let's be honest. But ultimately, like I'm working on this project that I want to be able to reach hundreds of thousands of people, and they have no idea that I'm behind that purpose.
Yeah.
And I'm teaching them how to change their lives and incorporating these really beautiful habits, but they don't know that was kind of like my driving force. And so I think that I'm trying to leverage my social capital and my media in order to be able to make those connections to have that bigger project that is going to affect tenfold more.
Yeah, for sure. It's perfect. I think it's great.
I get excited about it. I want to start flipping tables.
Yeah.
Pumped.
Cool. So,
but there's always going to be stupid bitches on Instagram.
Yeah, that's right. Stupid attractive bitches.
Oh,
and dudes.
Yeah, that's
frustrates the shit out of me. It really does.
I've got a riddle for you.
Oh.
Yeah.
I like puzzles.
Good. Well, you're going to get one.
Okay.
So, okay. Oh, and you can't look at the answer.
I can't even see anything.
Okay. Brothers and sisters have I none, yet that man is my father's son.
Is that God?
No, it's not God.
Okay.
You get two. You get two.
Okay,
you get
wait.
three.
Brothers
three
and sisters, I have none, so you're an only child.
Yep.
And
yet
then
that man is my father's son.
Yet that man is my father's son. That's me.
Looking in the
That's
mirror?
quick. That's pretty quick. Yep. I would say looking in a photo of himself.
Smart cookie boo.
Yeah. Shit. All right.
I love puzzles.
That was easy, man.
Was that easy? That took me like.
I just have to like.
years.
I'm like the beautiful mind. I have to like map, like
Get it out.
literally map it out.
God, that took me so much longer than you guys. I feel so dumb. Hey, do you want to know about a black hole? I can tell you about black holes. No, we won't. All right. Here we go. Okay, this is a good one.
Okay.
Who makes it has no need of it. Who buys it has no use for it. Who uses it can neither see nor feel it. What is it?
Say again.
Who makes it but has no need for it? Who buys it but has no use for it? Who uses it can neither see nor feel it.
Time.
No.
I just had a guess.
Sounds like,
I was going to
time?
say money until the last one.
Who? Oh, yeah. Yep. There's a good one about money. We'll get to that later.
Oh.
Say it again one more time.
Who makes it but has no need of it? Who buys it but has no use for it? Who uses it but can neither see nor feel it? It makes perfect sense when you find out.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Really tough. Really tough. On a scale of 1 to tough, it's like a 8.
Yeah,
This is like the test that I took for photographic memory. And they were
Yeah.
like, everybody has a camera. You just have no film inside. And I was like, fuck you, test. I was mad. I don't like to fail.
Break the camera. I'm out. Boom,
Yeah.
Smoke bomb again.
Smoke bomb again.
Keep doing that.
Yeah. Come back because
You're
we're
some
not,
sort of magician.
we're not finished. Okay. Do you want to know the answer?
I do want to know the answer.
Yeah. Do you want to keep figuring it out and I'll tell you the answer after the pod? Or the listeners at home want to probably hear the answer now?
Nah,
You know
it's
what,
too-
listeners,
too
you're going to have to
complicated.
wait.
Tell us.
Okay. The answer is a coffin. It's a coffin.
Oh, yeah.
Who makes it has no need of it.
Yeah, yeah,
Who
yeah.
buys it has no use for it. Who uses it can neither see nor feel it. The only thing is,
Oh, that's
who
tough.
makes it but has no need of it? What if he made it and then somehow died?
But everybody dies.
But the thing is, he
There's a
makes it
loophole.
for someone
A
else.
specific coffin.
Yeah,
Okay.
a specific coffin. Yeah,
Not bad.
But
Yeah.
I don't want to be buried.
yeah. I want to be cremated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I don't want
Burn
to rot
me.
the fucking ground.
I want
wanna burn
Keith
and
Richards
have a
to
sick
snort
life.
me. Did you snorted his dad?
Keith Ridge to snort ya.
Oh well, Keith Richards. Remember Keith Richards snorted his dad's ashes?
Oh yeah.
Woo! What?
All of them.
Ah,
All of the
probably
ashes.
not all of them.
No.
I don't know how much. I don't know.
I mean, it's like a pile.
How big do you think your ash pile would be?
well, they can fit him in a little vase, I think.
Yeah, but that's not the full.
Yeah. It's,
This is getting weird.
I really don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
So,
let's go.
should we talk about what you do with NASCAR? Just
Sure.
You got some more time?
yeah.
Cool. Let's go. Let's talk about your Are you still involved in NASCAR? So you were
No, it's like a full-time job, 11 and a half months out of the year.
really.
Yeah.
So how long were you involved for? Because you were
that year.
right. So
Yeah.
you dedicated your life basically for that year too.
Yeah, a year and a half, including training and stuff. So, it's beyond being a full-time athlete. It's a full-time athlete plus travel on the weekends, and you can't miss any races.
Right.
It's every weekend from February till November.
So
Why
for
did
people
you
that
get
don't-
into it?
I got duped.
So
yeah.
for people that don't know what you do
Yeah.
with NASCAR, do you want to explain to them?
So I was a tire changer, but I worked with Michael Waltrip Racing, which, nobody knows. He was a big racing team. And my friend called and he's like, you want to come play NASCAR? And I was like, yeah, I want to come drive some cars. And then we changed tires and I was pissed. But I fell in love with it as soon as we did it. And I didn't know that there weren't women in the sport. There's a handful at the lower levels. So I kind of tell you how this is for CrossFitters. There's, the open, regionals, the games. In NASCAR, there's trucks, nationwide, and then Sprint Cup. So there were some women in the lower two, but nobody in the upper level.
Wow.
And they just kind of scooped me up, and I was able to break into that top tier pretty
Right.
quickly. And it was a great experience. I loved changing tires, ironically, because I had never even changed my own.
Yeah.
Which now I can do. But I fell in love with it so much that I hadn't found something that passionate since I discovered CrossFit. So I knew that whatever this was, I needed to figure out how to be able to do it. And I set it up to be able to go train and step away from my gym for a little while and those responsibilities. And the
So
rest is history.
It's like a
Boom.
goal that you achieved and you moved on.
Yeah,
basically.
but it was a goal that I didn't know that I had.
Yes.
And it was just a challenge, and I love challenges and I love conquering challenges just because I like to see what I'm made of, and you don't know that until you put yourself through the test. So I loved it and had a great time. And I tell people that story all the time that I really got duped into it because you got to be willing to try something different and new. And without that, we usually have a preconceived experience in our mind, and that's what we feel that our experience is, regardless of whether we tried it or not. So I tell people, I'm like, look, if you think you know what's going to happen, go try it and compare it to. At least then you have like an educated experience.
Yep.
Yeah. Sure.
And people will be surprised at what they actually enjoy with trying it, like peanut butter on eggs. It's
Whoa.
delicious.
I would never try it.
No.
Vegemite and avocado.
So you have no fucking idea how wonderful your life can be with
Well,
peanut butter and eggs.
To be honest with you,
on bread?
No, on your egg.
Yeah, so you just
What, a
dip
hard-boiled egg or something?
hard-boiled egg into some peanut butter and eat it.
I've done that before too.
But what,
How do you do it then?
but how do you
Oh, like
spread-
scramble my eggs and then put a little dollop of peanut butter on top.
Ugh.
You're gonna try it tomorrow morning. You're gonna call me and you're gonna be like, "Thank you, Christmas, for
And it
enlightening
better
me
be
about
crunchy
peanut butter and eggs."
I'm definitely not
But
going
here,
to try
this
it.
is the thing.
I have like
So
the
this is
biggest-
a perfect example. He's like, no. I have people fight me, and then a month later, they're like, "It's my most favorite thing in the world."
Yeah.
Thank
I
you.
like. I
But-
definitely would try it, but I am so severely allergic to nuts.
Oh,
If I ate it, I would
he's
die
like,
in about
it
6
was the
minutes.
most amazing thing in my life. I died for it.
Christmas killed Tommy.
Oh, it's
Christmas
good.
killed Tommy.
I don't know. Well, listen, I want
go
you to
to
live
hospital straight
vicariously
away.
through them.
Yeah.
They're gonna try it.
But you're exactly right. I'm missing out.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the best though when you have something that people are like, oh my god, that's the worst. Do you know? Have you got? Do you drink Maduri? Have you had Maduri? Do you have that in the States?
What is it? No.
It's like a
I
lime.
don't know what it is.
It's like a lime green liqueur. How would you explain it?
Oh,
would
the
have
alcohol drink.
I don't
It's
know. I
like
had absinthe the other night.
It's like a green liqueur, like a weird green liqueur drink. And
Not as strong as absinthe.
And
No,
so my
not
mate
that I
came up to me
remember.
one day with a Madurian milk. So a glass of Madurian milk, which was like this pale off green colour. And he came up and he said, and he always used to fuck me over, this friend. He came up to me and he said, "Here you go, man. Got a drink for you." I looked at it. I was like, no fucking way I'm drinking that, dude. And then he's like, "Trust me, just have a sip of it." I'm like, "I'm not fucking drinking it." He goes, "I've got one." He's looked at the exact same. He goes, "Watch this." I'm like, all right, I'll have a little sip of it. I have a tiny little sip of this Madurian milk and instantly became my favourite drink that I've ever had.
Yeah.
And it's the same. I go and share that to everyone. I'm like, "Hey, you want to try this? You want to try this?" And they're like, "Nah, that's the most disgusting thing in
Yeah.
the world, but it's actually the best."
Yeah.
So,
So
let's
now
have
I
another
got.
moment.
That's right. That's
I
right.
just don't think peanut butter's good for me at this time.
Yeah, no.
I actually had a little bit of sausage roll of peanut butter in it, and I spent 2 nights in hospital.
Gosh,
Yeah.
man.
I really didn't like it.
Sucks.
Here, I thought we were doing so well.
I know. We had 2 moments,
I
and now
come
you
in,
guys
you
had...
serenade me. We're like
Damn it.
jiving, and then you can't handle
Chemistry's
peanut butter.
I'll bring it up again.
Smash.
I'll eat peanut butter for you.
Now, what about like? So is it just? Like, what else could you have?
All nuts. I can't
it just
get any
breaks
of my
my
fats
heart
in.
for you.
I know. I'm a sad, sad man. I can eat like... all of my nuts are gone. I don't have nuts. Yeah, it sucks.
Can't get,
I think
can't
that's the
get
name
nuts
of
on your
this
face anymore.
podcast.
Can't get any nuts on my face.
Can't.
Which, I mean, used to obviously be a big part of my... I'm not going to say that. Nah, but yeah, Ferrero shares. Apparently that's like
Lifestyle
the best thing in the world.
changes.
Yeah, yeah.
Whoa.
I've really
Straight now.
turned...
Can you have you can't have Nutella?
Nah, no way, man. I'll die.
That
Nah, that's
sucks.
an exaggeration. But I'll die.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I'm
Just
not
don't
going to
feed me
feed you
any nuts.
anything.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well,
Should we do some 9 from 9 action?
yes, 9 from 9. So we have a segment where we shoot 3 questions each to you, Christmas, and then we'll start to kind of wrap it up. So Mac normally leads us off.
Christmas, what is your morning ritual?
I wake up and I usually have a few minutes before I get out of bed just to kind of like reflect,
Do you
give things.
snooze?
To snooze?
Snooze
Do
button.
you push the
I
snooze?
do.
Do you
Yeah.
sleep?
Sometimes I like spring out of bed, but usually I hit the snooze. I like to wake up naturally as much as possible. And then like in the morning while I'm in the shower or something like that, I just think about like how grateful I am for the day. And I give thanks to God. And I'm just like, instead of asking for things all the time, I try and give thanks more than I ask. And eat breakfast, eggs, peanut butter, apples, peanut butter on the eggs
With
every
and just
morning.
apple on the
Stop rolling
side.
it in.
Apples?
I get it. I'm allergic.
Apple just on the side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, if I have to choose peanut butter with my apples or peanut butter with my eggs, I'm going with the eggs.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I've had peanut butter on apple before.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
good.
good.
Yeah.
So I eat breakfast and then I'll probably work a little bit at home, just like half an hour or so. And then I head to the gym and I'll train. And then I had my agency office is inside my gym. And yeah, it's convenient.
Yep.
And then I walk into the office and the squad is just like, I'm like, give me a rundown. And we start just taking over.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
And then in the evening, I usually leave work around, depending on what's happening for the day, 6 or 7, sometimes 5, and go home and
Morning
Book some
ritual,
dinner?
Christmas. Morning ritual.
Not you, buddy.
Damn.
not
And the next day what I'll do is...
Shut. It's like I wish she had disappeared.
Now you can smoke bomb.
Second question is, do you meditate?
Do I meditate? I'm trying to learn how. So I'm cognizant of the need for it, and I do it occasionally, but I need to put it, I think in the morning I do a little bit of like just a few minutes, but not as much as I would like.
I think showing your gratitude in the morning is a weak form of it. I don't
Yeah.
mean to emphasize
Yeah,
weak,
just called weak.
but it is.
My meditation is weak.
Yeah. you kind of suck
What a
at
little
it.
bitch.
Get out.
All right, little bitch. Third question.
Playing me. Shut up. Your
Um,
meditation is weak.
Third question is, if you had one day left on this earth, how would you spend it? And family is a given.
Oh, family's a given?
Yeah. Give me something exciting.
Maybe I don't want to do exciting. Like,
Okay.
honestly, I would have like a Thanksgiving meal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the holiday. I love Christmas. I love cooking, but I would just have food, obviously, with my family, so it's a given. So I'd spend it eating, apparently.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. Cool.
Solid. Good way to spend it.
All the good stuff.
So, my questions. Are you well-travelled?
I am well-traveled.
Cool.
Yeah.
This will be good then. So, first question is your...
Now, geography is a different thing.
That's okay.
Okay.
You just have to know the places that you've been.
Okay, yeah.
You don't need to know where they are. But your favourite destination that you've been to, all-time favourite, can be a small town, can be a city, can be a state, can be a nation.
With my experience to date, you know,
Australia.
yeah.
South Melbourne. There's great coffee.
You know,
Adventure
Cape Tribulation was amazing.
Say again.
Cape Tribulation,
Where is Cape Tribulation?
is that correct? Cape
Cape Tribulation.
North.
Never heard of that place.
It's in all fucking Australia.
We should know
Definitely
this.
drop the ball here.
Oh, fuck. We're not from Australia.
Backfire.
And your second favourite place?
Yeah.
Hey there, listeners. I bet you didn't expect to be hearing my voice again so soon. I'm going to be brutally honest. The Christmas show cut out with 8 minutes to spare. And the worst thing about it is, I really don't know why. None of us are really well versed with the hardware we are using to produce this podcast. We've got all the best equipment, but for some reason, between our computer and our interface, something crapped its pants. Look, to everybody that is listening, we love you guys, and thanks for putting up with our shit last week and again today. We will grow, we will get better. This won't happen again. So what you did miss was Christmas went on to say that her favourite destination, all-time favourite destination she wants to head to is Machu Picchu, which was me and Christmas had a massive high five, and she's hopefully we think coming along on our Peru Machu Picchu tour later this year. So that was cool. She went on, finished the 9 from 9 section, and then she just went ahead to plug all of her social medias, which are all at Christmas Abbott. She's also doing seminars again in Australia this coming weekend, which can be found at www.christmasabbott.com, and all of the rest of the details for Christmas can be found there. Again, to Christmas, I'm really sorry, and to you guys, the listeners, yeah, I wish I had a fix. I don't know what went wrong, and we'll make sure that whatever it was, we take care of it and it doesn't happen again. So, having said that, I'd like to go ahead and into our outro, and that is, if you did like the show, guys, apart from the technical difficulty today, go ahead and subscribe on iTunes. Also, we'd like to thank our sponsors. So our sponsors are Locksam Solutions at www.locksamsolutions.com.au, NDO Sups, www.ndosups.com. Use ADVF Radio for 10% off at checkout. Also, Audible trial. Okay, so you want to get a free month's Audible membership and a free audiobook, head to www.audibletrial.com/ADVF Radio, and you'll get a free month there. And also, Adventure Fit Travel, head to our Facebook of Adventure Fit Travel or Adventure Fit Radio over the next week There'll be a survey at the top, pinned to the top. If you put in your details of what podcast you want us to create, then you'll go in the running to win a $1,000 Adventure Fit travel voucher. That's it from me, guys.
Discovery Roger, go for deploy.